Hello, this is Vinnie Moore, and if you're not listening to Rockin You All Night, then you suck major ass.
Hello again, everyone. This is Ryan Witting, and you're listening to another episode of Rockin You All Night, where we talk all things rock, all things metal, and all things with strings. And if you don't like it, then you must not rock. My guest this week is one of the greatest guitarists who's ever walked God's green earth, Vinnie Moore. And we're coming at you from the Pressroom in Phoenix, Arizona. So sit back, hold tight, and get ready for Rockin' You All Night. All right. I'm here once again with the maestro of guitar mastery, the man who's starting Rockin' You All Night Season 4. It's his dime, it's his dance floor, it's the legend himself, it's Vinnie Moore.
Well, thank you so much.
Vinnie, how are you, my friend? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. Good to be here.
You're looking
Glad to be
awesome.
talking to you. Thanks very much.
Looking solid as usual. How's everything going?
Yesterday was pretty bad. I caught up on some sleep finally, so feeling a little better.
You're looking solid, though. You keeping the
Thanks.
workouts up?
Yeah, I'm going like 3 or 4 times a week, you know.
Nice, dude.
Yeah,
You're looking.
got to keep it going.
Looking
Stay in
solid.
shape.
Have you read any good reviews lately?
Well, yours was fabulous. Thank you so much for that.
You're very welcome. It was an honor to do that. For those that are watching that don't know, Vinnie's got a great new album. It is Soul Shifter. It's available on Amazon, iTunes, and CD Baby. Mm-hmm. You can go to VinnieMoore.com to find out more, or if you want to read about it, I've got a Rockin' You All Night review on sleazerocks.com. But bro, this album is phenomenal.
Thanks, man.
I think
you drink a lot of coffee, you write stuff.
I'll cheers to that.
Cheers.
So we are at the Pressroom in downtown Phoenix, but dude, this album here, I don't know if there's awards, you probably know more of them, but if there's an award for Instrumental Album of the Year, my vote's in. It's this.
Oh man, thanks so much.
It's phenomenal. You took, was it 4 or 5 years between your last one and this one? Let me go back to the writing of this real quick.
Okay.
So around 2017, 2018, you started to lose some of your closest friends during the writing of this. Greg Allman. Mm-hmm. Who else passed? Chris.
My friend Elliot Rubinson, who was the owner of Dean Guitars and also played bass in my band on some tours, passed away unfortunately, and
Chris as well.
Yeah, Chris Cornell passed away, and heard about that one morning and thought, I was just like floored by that, and felt something and wrote a song.
So as you're writing these, and unfortunately, you know, these are your friends that have passed, but as you're writing these and these people are leaving us, mm-hmm. does it make you think, I better write another homage to some of my other heroes before it's too late?
You know, it makes you realize that you got to capitalize on life while you're still healthy and doing well. And so I just want to keep writing, playing, recording, touring, just doing as much as possible. And while you can do it, you should definitely do it.
You're doing it pretty well. Do you have a track of Paul Raymond in the works or anything related to him?
Not yet. It's like, with me, writing isn't a planned thing. I never plan to write about a particular thing. It just sort of happens, you know what I mean? And it's more natural and organic that way. It just kind of sort of happens to you, and sometimes I don't even know what I'm writing about, but I feel a certain mood and get inspired and just go with it and write a song. I don't really even know what I'm writing about. It's more of an abstract thing, and then sometimes a real event, like, you know, losing someone, that could inspire a song, but it's never thought out and calculated in advance. It just sort of comes to me naturally, which is when I do my best work.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you a late night worker or midday? When do you do your best work?
I used to be, but now I'm a morning guy. I get up like at 7:30, have some coffees, and I pick up the guitar. If I'm recording, I go into the studio, and spend a day in the studio.
And you have a home studio, correct?
Yeah, right in the basement, so it's easy to get in there whenever I need to. And if I'm not in writing mode and I just happen to be playing guitar and something comes out, then it's there for me to go down and record that idea, because often if I don't record things right away, I forget them. And that's what the phone is really good for that too. I used to carry around a Walkman back in the day and record my ideas, otherwise I'd forget. So now it's the phone.
So your phone is probably chocked full of demos and ideas and
licks.
And
Yeah, it has some things on there, yeah.
Are there things that are unreleased that were going to be on this album that you're saving, or is this everything that you put into there it is? There's nothing else.
There's one song that I was going to be on there, and I decided to wait on that one. So yeah, originally there was going to be 11, but I'm going to hold this one back and finish it later and release it as a single,
so
well as some other things.
I'm not going to agree to give a spoiler alert, but I do want to hear it. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, so I love hearing about that. Let's take. I want to just look at this. I know we're going advanced, but when you finish your tour with UFO, you're going back on tour as solo act, I assume. Mm-hmm. What songs on here might make the live set cut?
Right, that's a good question.
Well, of course, I'm the best. Let's continue.
I love Same Sun Shines. I think I'd like to do that live. Maybe Kung Fu Grip.
With Kung Fu Grip.
I actually went online and sampled that from the G.I. Joe commercial, and my friend said, I tried to do something like that and it was going to cost $10,000. You might get sued if you use that. He said, if you do it yourself, then you're safe. So I'm on tour in Europe in a hotel room with my phone. It's like 3 a.m. I don't know if my neighbors could hear me or not, but I'm going, with Kung Fu Grip. I'm about 20 times, and I picked a couple of the best ones and sent them to him, and that's the one he used.
That's the one at the very end of the track.
Yeah.
That was kind of a surprise because it's kind of a little bit muted. Right. When I'm playing it, I'm like, I hear that. I'm like, that's Vinnie Moore doing the G.I. Joe.
Exactly.
Oh, dude,
yeah,
that's
I was going to use the original, but, didn't want any lawsuits.
Why pay for that, right?
Exactly.
Were you a fan of the G.I. Joe comics when you were younger?
Just the doll, actually. I had a bunch of those when I was a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, they were the coolest.
I did not know any of that. Thank you for sharing that. The one song I think is made for your live set, if I might be so bold, what I would like is Gainesville Station.
Oh, cool.
With Jordan Rudess. You kind of have this dueling guitar versus piano or keyboard solo. That song is made for your live set, dude.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's a real up-tempo number, and that's definitely one I would consider too.
Yeah.
And maybe the Brother Carlos, and maybe even Funk Bone Jam. I have to think about it a little bit.
This album, and I this is not blowing smoke, but this album you could actually, in my opinion, you could do like the whole album start to finish, and fans would love every bit of it.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, you might have to invite me down if you do that. I would love to.
Definitely.
Yeah, phenomenal album. Again, those of you that haven't purchased this, what the hell are you waiting for? CD Baby, iTunes, Amazon, Vinnie Moore, Soul Shifter. Great stuff, man. I hope you get, I don't know what awards are out there, but it deserves some, and I listen to music all day, but this is the best instrumental album that I've heard, not only this year, but in a long, long time.
Man, thank you so much.
Keep up
the biggest reward is if people really like it.
I haven't read any bad reviews.
Good.
So everyone that I've heard hear this is they're like, wow, dude, like they're just kind of blown away. So yeah, get this out there on tour. Are the CDs available? I know you said there was like a delay in getting them out there.
Yep, they're available at Amazon.com, and they've sold out, and we're restocking.
Oh,
it's just like a back and forth kind of thing.
Oh, congrats!
But yeah, they're definitely in stock.
Oh, perfect. Let me talk about. You mentioned you have a song about Carlos Santana here. Mm-hmm. This is one of your idols. When's the last time you saw him?
I saw him about a month or two ago in Camden, New Jersey, just outside of Philadelphia.
Okay.
Doobie Brothers opened, and Carlos just came out, and man, he played so well. Such a good show.
You let him hear
so
this
inspiring.
track?
I don't know him personally, although he did send me White Roses once.
Oh, wow.
Because I played on a track, it was a tribute record that Shrapnel Records put out called Viva Santana, and I played on one song, and he heard it, he really liked the record, and one day some flowers showed up at my house, White Roses, and I'm thinking, white roses for me? What's this?
Who's my secret admirer?
Exactly. I open it up, and there's this beautiful message signed Carlos Santana. I'm like, wow.
Oh, dude. So, which leads me to my next question. When do you collaborate with him on a song?
I would love to.
What's the holdup?
Give him a call. I don't know.
I think you should do some collaborations with people like him. And
I would love to.
There's another guy that I would love for you to collaborate with. One of your heroes, certainly one of mine as well, Ritchie Blackmore.
Yes. That's less likely to happen from everything I've heard about Ritchie, but yeah, he was one of my big...
Very reclusive.
Right.
Very
my big heroes when I was a kid growing up.
You told me the last time that we talked that Blackmore's Rainbow was the first concert that you saw?
Yes, opening for Blue Oyster Cult.
And that was like late 79, I believe.
I'm thinking, yeah, or 80, somewhere in that
Graham
range.
Bonnet was in the band?
Graham Bonnet was in the band,
Cozy
yeah.
Powell
Down to
drums.
Earth had just come out.
Okay. So yeah, late 79, I look back at these late 79 or 80. What do you remember from that concert? What are some of your memories?
I remember I was embarrassed because my mom wouldn't let me go alone. It was my first concert. So her and my stepfather took me to the show with a couple of my friends, and they were sitting behind me, I believe, or a couple of rows down. It's, oh man, this is embarrassing. My parents are with me.
Did they enjoy the show?
I think they did, yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm just looking, because I'm a huge fan of Blackmore too and Rainbow. I'm like, just to me, like to see the sheer power of Rainbow, and then my parents are there. I'm like, oh, I'd feel the same.
Right, I tried to
way.
ignore it. Like, they're his parents, not mine. You just try to ignore it.
I don't know these people.
But just seeing Ritchie play the way he plays and his showmanship on stage, and then seeing Blue Oyster Cult come out and Eric coming out with a motorcycle.
Oh,
It was a
wow.
great experience, man.
So you said that previously when we spoke, you saw a lot of shows at the Spectrum back
Yes, I
in the day.
did. Yep.
Did you ever see wrestling at the Philly Spectrum in the 80s?
I didn't.
You did not?
No.
Oh, wow. I was hoping you would say yes, because I know they ran a lot of shows there.
Yeah, that wasn't like Vince McMahon from that area or something?
Right, yeah. He had
I could be wrong.
He had a stronghold on that New York, New Jersey, Philly area. What other shows did you see at the Spectrum? I mean, I know you played there, of course, later.
God. Yeah, I got to play there 3 times. 2 times as a solo artist opening for Rush, and once with Alice Cooper. I saw Ted Nugent there, the Scorpions. I'm blanking. There are so many.
Oh, you saw the best of the best there, though.
You know, it was the good old days. You know, I had some of those old tickets for a while. It's like $7 for a concert. It was crazy.
Oh, love those memories of that. Did you ever take pictures or anything while you were there?
Yeah, always. They never came out good, though, with those little cheapy cameras. It was always too far away.
Post some of that stuff on Instagram. It'd still be interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Some of that stuff, because you might have the only shots of that concert that are out there online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be, just to be in that area. Where I'm from, there were no major concerts within,
Oh, really?
like hundreds of miles.
Mm-hmm.
But to be where you're from, to see all those, man, that's why we get Vinnie Moore.
There was the Tower Theater also. A lot of bands played there. That was a little smaller than the Spectrum, of course. And there were some outdoor venues in Philly. The Man Music Center, where I saw Santana a few times. Once with Al Di Meola.
Wow.
So a lot of cool shows. Saw Trower at the Tower several times, Robin Trower.
Trower at the Tower, love it. When you first played the Philly Spectrum, was that your idea of I've made it, or did you feel that you had really made it before you got there?
Well, it was really nerve-wracking. Because it's always nerve-wracking when you play a home gig and your family's there and friends. And so I think I played there first with Alice, so it was a little less nerve-wracking. But then when I went back as a solo artist opening for Rush, we actually had come off of a club tour to do this, and we were actually at my house, me and the other guys in the band, and we drove from my house to the Spectrum, just as I would have when I was a kid going to see somebody else play there. And I was keeping it pretty cool, but on the way up, there was a radio commercial, and it was like, Rush at the Spectrum with hometown guitar hero Vinnie Moore, and I was like, oh shit, the magnitude of it hit me, and I'm like,
wow.
I was suddenly nervous, like, oh my God.
Oh, that's phenomenal. What do your parents say when they see you after the show? Are they like in tears, or?
No, they were very happy, but not in tears, just very proud.
So your parents, are they still with us, God willing?
Yes.
Oh, good. is that the first time they saw you? I mean, obviously they saw you play as a young kid, but is this the first time they saw you on a major stage?
Probably, yeah, I think so.
Gosh,
Yeah. Well, the Alice show, was the
Yeah.
first one at a big place.
How proud were they? I can only imagine.
Pretty proud.
That's phenomenal.
Embarrassingly proud.
Did you introduce them to the rest of the band, or did you say, and I don't know these people again?
Yeah, they definitely met. I mean, after the show, it was like the whole dressing room was full of my people, and the band was like joking with me.
Oh, phenomenal stuff. When's the Vinnie Moore book come out that shares these stories?
Oh man, maybe someday. I don't have time for it right now.
Well, I might know a good editor or ghostwriter.
Okay, there we go. I'll keep that one in mind.
There you go. Let me go back to Blackmore really quick. How close were you to getting the gig in 93, 94 to replace Blackmore when he left Purple?
I didn't hear about that one actually, and I always thought, damn, I think I would have fit into that pretty well.
Perfectly, actually.
Well, but Steve Morse is a great player too. I love his playing. He was a big inspiration on me, and I'm glad he got the gig because he's a great player and deserves it.
Looking back at it, and me being a fan of Blackmore, and obviously a big fan of yours, but I look back at it like, so Blackmore leaves, and in my opinion, and many others, it's like the two names I have to believe that are at the top of that discussion of who replaces Ritchie would have to be you and Yngwie.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wondered, like, did anyone ever talk to you? But then Satriani gets the gig.
Oh, yeah.
And then Morse.
Yes.
Had you been contacted by Gillan or Glover or their management to say, can you step in for Ritchie, would you have done it?
I would have done it, of course, yeah.
Would you have left ever?
Probably not.
Right. I really wish, Satriani is Satriani, and like you say, Morse is phenomenal, but many times Vinnie Moore would have been perfect for that band because
I have the same birthday as Ritchie too, so it was a perfect fit right there.
I am not going to disagree with you. I always wondered that. Yeah, it's one of those things. I'm like, how was Vinnie Moore not at the top of that list of people to call? Because they needed a big name, and they needed somebody that knows the songs. It's like,
yeah, I never heard a thing.
Darn. Have you ever met Blackmore?
No, I haven't actually. Always wanted to.
Wonder why he's just so reclusive. What would you like him to say about your music?
You stole all my licks, mate. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't think you stole all of them, but I can definitely hear
There's
that.
some of that influence in there.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would just be happy if he liked some of it. That would be all. But.
I bet he would. I would really hope that one day you guys can meet and collaborate. Let me switch gears a little bit. If you can take me back to the young Vinnie Moore, you get your first lessons, you told me, from a lady named Mary Biddle, and then Nick Bucci. If I'm just thinking hypothetically, if they told you at 13, 14, 15, Vinnie, you're so good, you're going to be in UFO and you're going to be the longest tenured guitarist in UFO one day, would your younger self even believe that?
No way, definitely not. My older self still doesn't even believe it.
Really?
It's kind of a surreal thing. Every time, once in a while, I have to pinch myself, to be honest.
When's the first time you heard UFO?
When I was a teenager, maybe 13, 14, had the Forset record, Lights Out, Obsession, Strangers, jammed with that stuff, I took some of the stuff into my teacher so he could figure it out and show it to me. And so, yeah, I was definitely a big fan. I never would have ever dreamed that I would someday be in the band, let alone even meet them,
And you're the longest tenured guitarist.
Yeah, I mean, and even in the beginning when I got the gig, I thought, okay, this may be a good thing for 3 or 5 years at the most, and I never thought it would last as long as it has.
Wow. Take me back to when you first get that call. What are the series of events or state of affairs that lead you to this band?
Well, I heard that they were initially looking for someone in England, and that didn't work out. And so they expanded their search to Europe, and then that didn't work out. And someone recommended me. Their manager used to manage Michael Schenker, and I did a tour with Michael Schenker in '99. I opened up, and the manager, his name is Peter, he was there on the tour. So I knew him, and he thought, hey, Vinnie might be the right fit. You should check him out. And also another guy recommended me too, who had done sound for UFO, named Jerry Carrillo. And so a couple of people mentioned my name, and so at a certain point they asked me to send some of my music to Phil, So I put together kind of a compilation of various tunes. I think it was like 11 songs. Sent it out to him, and I thought, I'll probably never hear anything, but, it's a good thing to do.
Right.
Got to take a shot. And then I heard back like 10 days later, like, Phil really liked it and wants you to join the band.
No kidding.
And then there was no live shows at that point. The plan was to do a new record. So immediately we talked on the phone and started discussing writing songs for the new record. So I just like fed him some ideas, and
which would have been this one here.
yeah, You Are Here.
You
Jason
Are Here.
Bonham was joining the band at the same time.
Yeah, and you guys had like a super group with Bonham. Those of you watching on the YouTube vid, that's the album there. Phenomenal stuff. This was like super group is overused now, but this with Jason and you, it's like UFO times 10. In
Yeah,
terms
it was
of
a lot of fun going into that. And we just flew to Germany, to this little town outside of Hanover called Celle, and just started rehearsing the tunes and hashing out things, and recorded the first record. And then the tour came later.
Kind of happened that quick. Take me back to the first gig that you play. It's in 2004. Was it in Baltimore?
In U.S.?
Yeah, with UFO. My research, I can't remember exactly where your first live gig with UFO was.
The first live gig anywhere was in Greece.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were in Germany rehearsing, and we had this flight from Germany to, Athens, on this airline called Tyrolean Airlines, which was owned by Germany and Turkey. I don't even know if the airline still exists. But anyway, it was a smooth flight, but we started descending to come into Athens and hit the worst turbulence any of us had ever felt.
Jesus.
And I thought the plane was going down. It was insane. And the pilot never got on and said a word like, we're just hitting some wind, everything's okay. He never got on at all. So that made it even more worrying.
Wow.
And man, I was just holding on to my seats. My heart rate was pounding. And finally we landed, and I'm just like, man, I need to get drunk now. Thought the plane was going down.
Oh my
so
God.
Scary. It's like, why did I join this band? I could be home with my kids right now. Yeah.
So right before you step on stage that first time, the curtain hasn't opened up yet. What's going through your mind? Do you remember?
I really don't remember, just go out there and have a good gig, have fun.
It's like, and fuck that plane.
Exactly. That was, yeah, so there was that, and then we flew to Thessaloniki in Greece, and then went back to Germany and did some shows in Europe.
Phenomenal. What are some of your favorite moments of being in UFO over the years?
I would just say in general, playing these places and seeing familiar faces from over the years that are happy and have come out to so many shows, have supported us, and we've gotten to know them, and it's just like a great thing.
Right. How about this tour here? What are some of the highlights that you've experienced so far?
Well, I definitely have to say the other night in LA when Kirk Hammett came up to jam, that was really a cool thing. And since I've been in the band, we've never had anyone come up and jam. It's just never even been a topic of discussion. It's just not something that this band has ever done. So it was really the first time it ever happened with Kirk, and it was really cool.
Yeah, I saw videos of that on all the different rock news pages. I'm like, holy cow, like Kirk came up to this. And the videos I've seen, you don't get quite the audio quality that you would live, but it looked and sounded just dynamite stuff.
He's just a hardcore UFO fan since he was a kid, like me, and it was just like, in a way, a dream come true for him. I was so happy to see that. After the show, I was like, Kirk, we're doing San Diego in 2 days. Don't forget to be there.
Right. Oh wow. I wish I could have seen that. Maybe we get it on YouTube. Have you accomplished all that you want to accomplish with this band, or is there more that you'd like to do?
Wow, that's a good question. We're always striving to do better and better. Maybe play for bigger crowds, do a record with maybe a song that is kind of a semi-hit. I don't know. There's always something to strive for.
What was the I don't want to say final straw, but what was kind of the last series of events where, I'm assuming Phil said, hey, Vinnie, pack your gear, we're doing this one last time. What were kind of the last events that said, this is it?
It started, we were all actually home, but before that, when we were on tour, we were starting to get the feel that, maybe he's feeling like he's had enough of this because he's done it so long. And there were some things with him. He had a hernia, and had to get an operation. We had to cancel some shows, and I think he was having some problems with his lower back. So at that point, he's thinking, my health might be going downhill a little bit. I've done this for years. Maybe it's time to throw in the towel. And we took like a year off, and then he agreed that he wanted to do like one more round of touring.
Right.
And we were all very happy because everybody else wants to move on and keep going. And, I think since he's been out, he's healthy, he's feeling good, he's revitalized. And I think he's feeling like, some more of this wouldn't be so bad. So.
Right. That's what I've been hearing, just kind of the buzz is like the band is re-energized.
Yeah, definitely. And then Neil, too, has helped rejuvenate.
Phenomenal. I really hope that, if nothing else, UFO continues as an album-making entity. Do you think there's a possibility that even if you're not able to tour because, might still be some albums?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility. There's nothing specific, nothing on the horizon, but it's definitely a possible scenario. And, so we're doing shows in 2020 now, which was always what I said, that I bet we at least go into 2020. And from that point, who knows? No one knows what's going to happen.
Your last album is the Salentino Cuts, which is covers. Who decided, one, that it was going to be a covers album? Who decided the song list? Is it all the guys said, well, I'd like one from Montrose? Or
we were all throwing in ideas, and it was very painful to finalize things. Because Phil has trouble making up his mind sometimes. He's indecisive, and we'd be on the tour bus having a couple beers, and we'd go, hey, what about this song? And he'd think, yeah, that would be great. So we'd come up with this list, and then the next morning he'd be like, I don't know. And so it would change again.
Really?
And this went on for months and months and months. And finally, when we went into the studio, we still only had like 6, maybe 7 songs chosen. And the rest came at the end.
So those that are watching, this is the album here that Vinnie so graciously signed for me. What's one of the tracks that you said, I want to do this one? Because I just have to say your Rock Candy is just dynamite stuff. And also Mississippi Queen, your guitar on that is just phenomenal.
Oh, thanks. I think probably the one I chose is Just Got Paid.
Okay.
I was pushing for a lot of ZZ Top songs. I pushed for some Hendrix, and Phil was like afraid because he thought it's sacrilegious. That stuff is like, the Bible. You can't mess with it. But so I managed to get the ZZ Top one in there, but not the Hendrix. A lot of people assume Trower would be my input, which is definitely something I wanted to do because I'm a huge Trower fan. But I think that was me and Andy together because Andy is also a big Trower fan. So I think that came about from both of us.
I was hoping for a Purple track on there.
Right, that would have been cool.
When I got that, I'm like, dude, Vinnie's guitar on, I'm talking to myself, Vinnie's guitar on, Mississippi Queen is phenomenal. And Rock Candy, I'm like, holy cow, how do you take songs, that are that well known, that are that phenomenal, but somehow make them your own? But you did it. And I'm just like, whoa, dude, this is, so I forgot completely about like, well, there's no Deep Purple track.
Right. Yeah. I think Rock Candy, I think we heard a band opening for us do that.
Really?
On tour somewhere. And I thought, what about Rock Candy? I think I might have mentioned that one, and we kicked it around collectively and ended up doing it.
Those of you that haven't got this UFO Salentino Cuts, it's worth the listen. It's dynamite stuff.
This was a restaurant. We rehearsed in Hanover, Germany a lot. And
That's
next
what
to
the
the
front
hotel.
cover is?
No, the Salentino is called.
Okay.
It's an Italian restaurant right across the street from this hotel we stay at in Hanover, and we seemed to spend so much time in there drinking, eating dinner, and we were trying to come up with a name for the record, and I said, what about the Salentino Sessions? And everybody was like, yeah, that's great, let's do it. And then at the end, Phil decided to change it to Cuts.
Oh, I was just going to ask.
I like mine better, the Sessions.
Salentino Sessions. Yeah, I would like, I think most fans would be like, if we don't want this to be the last UFO album, we want some.
Yeah, I'm hoping we go out on a original record anyway, not a covers record.
I would encourage and be pleased to hear that, buy that, see that, and review that if that ever happens.
I think how that came about is a record label contacted us, and they had this idea for us to do old UFO songs and redo them. And Phil thought that was kind of not so good of an idea. We've already done that. Why should we record
you did
them
that
again?
Here with Showtime, right?
Yeah, well, that was live. But they wanted us to re-record a studio record with older songs, and no one felt too keen on doing that. So then we thought, well, just a covers record might be cool.
What was the agenda with Showtime? Because to my knowledge, the old UFO songs that you recorded don't appear anywhere except on the bonus disc of the DVD. Was it ever meant to be released as a full album of covers, or just something extra with this?
I don't even quite remember.
Okay.
We just went out and did a live show, filmed it, and
yeah,
it was right when I first joined the band, actually. Jason's on drums on that one, and Pete's still in the band.
May of '05, Hanover, Germany. Yeah,
Yeah.
When I got this, I'm listening to these songs, and their arrangements are a little bit different. There's almost like an orchestral sound, if you will, but it's just you guys doing those songs in the studio there on Showtime. I'm just like, whoa, dude, this is phenomenal, but it never showed up on like a...
Oh, you mean the in the studio stuff?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I forget who came up with that idea. Maybe the record company, and we went in and filmed some stuff with a string quartet.
Yeah.
You're basically playing live in the studio.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, dude, it's phenomenal. Not a lot of people know about that because it's on this DVD and it never got like a CD release. I don't know if it may be on YouTube. It's just not out there as much as I think it should. So those of you listening, UFO Showtime, the bonus disc. But yeah, that stuff is just, again, dynamite, as everything that you do is. But yeah, I often wondered how that, what was the agenda, what was the purpose behind that. Let me go to, I have a new signature segment that you actually created. You don't know,
really?
You don't know that you created it. It's called In the Year 2525, and I've been doing it since the last time we spoke. But you created it because you were the only person that actually sang
that song,
the Zager and Evans lyrics, and I've been trying to get people to sing that part. Nobody does it, but you were the only one, so I made this segment for it, and my hope is that somewhere down the road you take that Zager and Evans song In the Year 2525, record it, and make it a hit again. I think it comes to you. I think it's bestowed upon you to do that.
Okay.
So
it's my mission.
All right. I think it'd be great because I really look at not only your music, but in talking to you, like you're pretty darn connected to the universe, I think.
Thank you.
Not just me saying that. Like I believe you have some foresight of things. I'm not saying psychic.
Deeper thinker, maybe.
I think, yeah, that probably is the best description, but I can see that in your music and talking to you. So like a song like In the Year 2525, you probably see that, boy, a lot of that's coming true.
Yeah.
In there. So let me play this. In the Year 2525. Let me warm up my singing voice. In the year 2525. That is, of course, if man is still alive. When the name Paul Raymond comes up, what should people say?
Oh, wow.
I don't ask the easy questions.
What would we say? He's a man who loved what he was doing, and wrote some really good songs and made a big contribution to the band UFO.
When I heard that he'd passed, I felt so bad for you and the rest of the band. I'm like, wow, dude, because that was kind of out of nowhere.
Totally out of nowhere.
What was your last conversation with him, if you don't mind sharing that?
My last conversation was him getting in the elevator in the hotel. We were all going home after the tour, and we all had flights in the morning, and I was standing in the hallway. There wasn't enough room in the elevator, and he was in the elevator with his girlfriend, and just like pointing at him and a joke about something we had been joking about at the time. And that's the last time I saw him, just laughing and pointing at him and saying this joke.
Damn. If you could say one more thing to him, what would it be? Great playing with you all those years, and glad you enjoyed what you're doing in life. You were truly doing what you loved at the end. Thank you for that. And again, my condolences. I mean, that's
Thanks,
a huge
man.
loss, because I know it seems like we're all losing, fans of, your music. Like, we're losing too darn many people too quick. And it's just,
I hear you.
It seems like it's every day, to be honest, but it's probably more like every month something comes up. Let me go to the next one. warm up my voice again. In the year 2525, that is, of course, if man is still alive, when the name Ritchie Blackmore comes up, what should people say?
Man. They should say that he made one of the biggest contributions ever to rock guitar. Created a whole style, not only with his playing, but with the songs he wrote.
Do you think there should be a Ritchie Blackmore statue?
Definitely should be. And there should be a holiday, too, so I can have a day off.
I like that. I would definitely take the day off for Vinnie Moore / Ritchie Blackmore Day.
He inspired millions,
for
especially
sure.
Guitar players.
Oh, God. Kids still, to this day, the first thing that they learn, many of them, is Smoke on the Water.
Right. Yep.
Just to this
Absolutely.
day, it's like it just lives into perpetuity. Last question of In the Year 2525. Do you want to sing it?
In the year of 2525.
Love that. That is, of course, if man is still alive. When the band UFO gets mentioned, what should people say?
They got mixed up with alien spaceships a lot. Wow. They should say, that period at the end with Vinnie Moore, that was the highlight. No, I'm just joking.
I agree.
They should say, here's another rock band who came out of England who inspired the world. Wrote some truly great songs and made some really great records and had a long, consistent career.
When you guys get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, what are you going to say?
I doubt it would ever happen, but if it does,
it should.
I would say, thanks, y'all.
All right. My last image of you when I saw you last year in Scottsdale, I can't remember what song you closed with, but you were just killing it on guitar, and then the last thing you stepped with the mic, you're like, everyone in the pool, and I think it was Gus G's crew, like people jumped in. I'm like, that was so awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, I'm just picturing you on stage at Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Vinnie Moore gets a speech. I'm just like, all right, Vinnie's going to say something that's just dynamite.
Unexpected. That's totally me. I don't even know what I'm going to say.
You guys being in there is long overdue, as we all know, as fans. So I don't know which congressman to petition, but any of them listening, UFO needs to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And if I might be so bold, you should be in there as a solo artist as well.
Maybe someday they'll start like a guitar player Hall of Fame and maybe a keyboard Hall of Fame or drummer. Maybe it already exists and I don't know about it, but
either way, I think you need to be in there twice.
I have maybe a shot of that one.
We just need to get that word out there. We'll do what we can to get you there, but you belong in there.
Thank you so much, man.
Once
Appreciate
and
that.
Twice, I believe.
Thank
Let me
you.
go to my signature segment, Ryan Witting's This or That. I'm not sure people are copying this, but I'm still playing it. So I give you two things. You tell me what you like better, this or that. Here we go. Beavis or Butthead?
Oh, man. That's a tough one. I guess Beavis.
Okay, I've heard that you do a phenomenal Beavis or Butthead
I used to be pretty good at that back in the day, but I have to hone my skills back in, Beavis. Yeah, shut up. I'll kick your ass.
Love it. What would you like the boys, Beavis and Butthead, to say if they were sitting on the couch watching your video for Meltdown?
I did an answering machine message like that once.
Really?
From my phone, and it was like, song starts out and it's really heavy, and they're going, whoa, this is pretty cool. This rocks. And then Beavis goes, yeah, this is that instrumental music. Or I think I said incidental music. No singing, it's all guitar. And then I go, wait a minute, no lyrics. Sorry, got that wrong. Incidental music, no vocals. Wait a minute, no vocals? That sucks. This sucks.
They need to reboot that again and include that. I love that show. When that first came out, was it something you hoped that your video would get on there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
I would have been great because I did have a video that was played on MTV a little bit, but just never. It would have been great if it made that show.
Well, now we know what you'd like the boys to say, so if they reboot that, add Vinnie Moore's Meltdown to what the boys watch on TV. Here we go. Next question, this or that. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
I was going to say, notice I didn't say Coca-Cola. So you're choosing Coke just for the flavor?
Yeah, I'm not really a soda drinker, to be honest. I rarely drink it, and when I do, it's for a little bit of energy. I find on the road before a show, like last night I had one, just for the sugar, the caffeine, just to get a little energy when you're tired. But in general, it's not a healthy habit, man. It's just way too much sugar and too acidy. So it's not something I drink at home.
Kills the workout. You can't keep that solid bod that you've got drinking.
Oh, man.
People don't realize the damage that all that does.
And the diet stuff is no good for you either.
Right,
so.
and it just, people, that's what they think. Well, it's a diet. It's like, but it's still carbonated. It's not going to hydrate you. It's still got all these chemicals that are just...
At home, it's like coffee and water is usually what I drink. Not even fruit juices. They have sugars in them.
No wonder we're friends. I'm the same way. Let me switch gears a little bit, but still related to Coke or Pepsi. So you did this commercial for Pepsi way back in the day. What were some of the fringe benefits, or what did you get out of that commercial? Did they give you a year's supply of Pepsi?
No, actually, I got nothing. I got paid, and that was it.
Really? How did you get into that at a young age?
I had this write-up in Guitar Player magazine, Spotlight for New Talent, which was written by Mike Varney. And this production company was trying to find someone to be in this commercial, and they went to a music store and bought like 3 or 4 magazines and started paging through them, and they saw me, they saw the really favorable, positive write-up, and they saw the picture and thought, let's get a hold of this guy. So I ended up getting a call one night. I'm in Delaware at home, and I'm totally into that. Next morning I was on a plane to LA to audition for the part. And for a while, it looked like I was going to be the actor in the commercial.
That's what I've read.
I didn't end up getting the acting part, but I got the music part and the close-up hand shots.
There's a still shot. I don't know if it's on your website, but you can actually see you in the background. It's more than just the hand. I read... Is there like an extended commercial of that?
There's a 30-second and a 60-second.
Right.
They were the days when there would actually be 60-second commercials on television.
Right.
But you never would see that now. It's way long.
Yeah, I always wondered, like, how did you get that? But it's like, what else did they give? I was thinking, like, oh yeah, you'll be our spokesperson, or I get a year's supply of Pepsi.
No, basically nothing.
Oh, and you got the exposure, and it's
exactly. It was a nice feather in my cap, and there was like a buzz about me partially because of that. Like, there was this new guy, and he's played on this Pepsi commercial, and people would hear it, and there was really a lot of shredding on that. So
phenomenal. Thank you.
It definitely helped me develop my career.
But we're taking Coke over Pepsi regardless of the
sorry
commercial.
Guys. If you gave me some free shit, maybe I'd feel different.
Yeah, there you go. See, they dropped the ball on that. 2 more questions here of this or that. Phillies 1980 or Phillies 2008?
2008, because I was older then. My kids were into it, and we all watched it together and shared that experience. And I remember telling them, enjoy this, because you might not ever see this again in your lifetime. And that team was so strong with their pitching. They could have won it the next year or the year after, and they just didn't do it. So I told my kids, I'm like, see, that's how it happens. You just never know.
And you're a huge Phillies fan. Do you remember the 80 series at all?
Yeah, I remember that too.
Who's
Tug
the greatest
McGraw.
Philly of all time? Is it Schmidt?
You'd probably have to say Schmidt.
Yeah.
But you had Larry Boa in there, Dave Cash. I mean, such a good team.
Pete Rose was there.
Steve Carlton.
Right.
Yeah, Pete Rose.
Yeah. Which Boone was
Bob
the catcher?
Boone.
Bob Boone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever meet Schmidt?
No. I heard he's a really, really nice guy.
He might be a fan. Might be a fan of your work. I bet he probably would, because I've heard he's music aficionado as well. Why haven't you been contacted to play the national anthem for the Phillies?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Okay, somebody that works for the Phillies needs to take notice. Vinnie Moore would be glad to play the national anthem.
Or the Eagles. I'm a big Eagles fan too.
There you
and
go.
Flyers.
Yeah, it surprised me that you don't, because you're a well-known fan. It surprised me that somebody hasn't reached out and said, play this one time.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't refuse that.
No, definitely not.
Phenomenal. Let me go back to the Phillies really quick. The 93 Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
I remember thinking in 93 the Atlanta Braves are going to just destroy everybody. The pitching staff was so good. Justice Gant, and those guys were just in their prime.
And that was a great series too.
Oh my God, to me that was the real World Series that year. And here are the Phillies, and they look like lumberjacks. just that to me was like one of the greatest series I think ever.
That was so nerve-wracking that for me that at times when the Braves came up to bat, I was like changing the channel. And then going back when the Phillies were up to bat, I was just so afraid the Braves were going to score runs, and I was so nervous I couldn't even deal with it. But
I know what you're saying. Ron Gant, when he'd get up, there were like, if people go back and look, there were like 5 or 6 times that he hit balls that just went foul in that series that would have been home runs.
Right,
that
yeah.
went 2 feet the other way or a half a foot the other way. Yeah, that was a great series. When's the last time you saw the Phillies play?
oh man, I haven't gone to a game this year. I think last year was the last time I went.
Okay. Well, get there, and I think maybe on the spot somebody might ask you to play the national anthem. I would encourage somebody for the Phillies to do that. Last question. This is always the toughest one. Now, I know I can't get over home run hitting. You told me that. Dale Torborg told me that. So the last question is this. Ryan Witting, that's me, the host of the show, or bullshitting?
Ask again, in what context?
Would you choose me over bullshitting or not?
Oh, of course I would. Absolutely.
Finally, I won over Vinnie Moore. The last time that we talked, I said Ryan Witting or home run hitting. You're like, no, home run hitting.
Oh, did I? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
No, you don't have to apologize. I encourage people not to choose me sometimes. Vinnie, thank you. Gosh, just thank you so much for not only this interview here and your upcoming concert, not only for all the years of just kick-ass dynamite music and guitar playing and all that, but more importantly, thank you for being in touch with me, being a friend. Like, just, I think people on your level don't realize sometimes what it means to fans to hit that like button on Facebook or Instagram or send a birthday wish. Like, that just means just an awful lot.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah,
no worries at all. I like to keep in touch with people.
Yeah.
Facebook makes it so easy to see somebody's birthday, and if you know them, of course I'm going to wish them a good day.
And not a lot of people take even those few seconds, to do that, but it means an awful lot, like I say. So thank you for
Thank you.
For
and
all
thank
that.
you for all your support and help getting the word out there. I totally appreciate that.
I'm
invaluable.
I'm doing what I can, and I'll continue to do it. And again, those of you that are listening, Vinnie Moore's new album, Soul Shifter, available Amazon.com, iTunes, CD Baby, VinnieMoore.com. Pick it up. It's dynamite stuff. Vinnie, thank you so much for everything. And thank you for being on Rockin You All Night, where we talk all things rock, all things metal, and all things with strings. And if you don't like it,
you must not rock.
There you have it, another episode of Rockin You All Night. Be sure to listen to Rockin You All Night on azradio.live and follow Rockin You All Night on SoundCloud, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. The music on this episode is provided by Billy Moffat. Follow Billy Moffat on SoundCloud to hear all of Billy Moffat's songs. Hit up the PressroomAZ.com to stay up to date on the Pressroom's concert calendar. And be sure to go to VinnieMoore.com and UFOmusic.info for all of your Vinnie Moore needs. We'll see you when the sun shines again. Until then, follow along, leave comments, click like and subscribe, and remember, we've only just begun.